Action.
Oh, sorry, I got engrossed in the book. Are large caps having its moment in the sun? Suppose an investor invested 10,000 rupees in the Nifty 50 index. Today, that would have been 10,700 rupees, meaning just a 7% return. But are they performing up to their potential? In the last 5 years, mid and small caps have outperformed large caps by 56% and 27%. So, the question to be asked, are large caps going to have their shining moment in the sun? Join us this Saturday where we discuss the opportunity in investing in large cap funds.
To sell or not to sell. A lot of investors are sitting on peak profits right now, especially those who have small cap heavy portfolios. What I have seen, even amongst the most experienced investors in small cap, is that their portfolios are performing exceptionally well, and yet they don't seem to be quite happy. Most investors are visibly restive. They want new ideas. Everyone wants to feel that he can discover new ideas even in this market context. Now, when the market context is not favoring, why should one want to prove anything to others or to himself? Because the context has to come in favor. The market has to allow you to find new ideas. If the market doesn't allow, like you're seeing in the present, only few ideas are available and everybody is chasing them, why should you exert yourself? But investors are not willing to listen. Most people seem to be very anxious, and this anxiety, which we otherwise call as the fear of missing out, is making people make decisions much faster. They are speeding up their investment decisions much more than they ever did. Now, this is a difficult situation because when you speed up decisions, you don't follow the process that you usually do. In the sense, I may sit on a stock for 6 to 9 months in a bear market. I'll do all my homework, track 2-3 quarters result, get a good 360-degree view of a company and know what is the right valuation at which I must buy, know what could be the downside even at that valuation, be mentally ready for downside. So all these things take time, right? You can't do it just hearing a name and just doing a little bit of Googling. But today investors are doing just that. Very, very fast conclusions are being drawn by people. And this is being done after some stupendous success. I mean, you can never grudge the success of these investors that I am talking about, because I think that they have spent decades in the market, they are masters of the game, they have done great stuff, but still they feel pressured. It's a performance anxiety of a different level, of a different order. Now, what happens is that you're speeding up the decisions. That's one point. Then you're speeding up the execution. That's the second point, which means that you are creating an impact cost while purchasing. The position sizes that you're building up now are much larger than they ever were, or they are the largest in your investment experience. And the velocity in which you are deploying money is very high. So on the one side, you're selling stocks very fast, taking out money, and buying stocks very fast. Now this is a speed game. It's no more a calm, secure game. You're playing very, very fast. It's bordering on the rash, I would say. Because selling, at least, is done in a place where you have spent a lot of time with the stock. But buying is a blind effort. You are doing a lot of blind stuff. This, in my opinion, is forced on investors because they don't want to stay out of the action. And the institutions are deciding the action today. For example, if there is an SME IPO, the anchor investors and HNIs are deciding what price it will list, and on that day they're going and buying and taking the stock to the freeze, and then it keeps going up. It won't even give you an opportunity. Similarly, if there's a good result, you almost will not be able to buy the stock after that. If there is a stupendous result, the stock flies for days together. So, the anxiety is to buy before the stock flies, or at least buy on the day of the result so that you don't miss out. But this kind of a market context won't sustain for too long unless you're going to have perennial flow of capital from domestic investors. I don't see that happening. Also, the kind of retail investors who are participating in this market with so much anxiety are not the type who can see drawdowns. So, whenever the market shows them first signs of a drawdown, we don't know how they will react. They will at least freeze, they won't buy. Whether they would sell is a question I don't have a ready answer for. So, under those circumstances, this market context could change dramatically. Under trying circumstances, investors could behave very differently. Valuations could appear very, very different from what they do now. Now, investors have to prepare for that. Instead, we don't want to spend any time in preparation because we don't want to be left out of the action. This is what makes people want to buy more than ever before in this market context. Also, it's also slowing people from selling because selling is what will give you the powder which you can keep dry for a rainy day when you can buy more. Nobody wants to sell because if you sell and it goes up further, you feel that you're missing out on that last mile of action. You don't want to leave anything on the table for anyone who's taking the risk out of your hands. So, nobody wants to sell, everybody wants to buy. This is the market context that we are in, especially in small caps and micro caps. And this context is running its course because flows continue to remain robust and nobody wants to miss out on the action. But those who consciously choose to miss out on this action would be very specific in their investment choices, would take it easy for some time and then come back with a bang. In the meantime, this rally could be a time to take money out of companies which you are not going to be comfortable owning for the long term, or stocks would have run up way above their fundamentals. It's a good time to take some money out of them. Effectively, prepare now. So, selling is not an option and buying is definitely an option. Thank you for watching this video.